Hey guys, JB7, and I've got another Tip Tuesday class set up for Borderlands 2, and this time we'll be going through Mechromancer. Um, just a preface type thing. Whenever you're setting up your skill tree, you never really want to copy people exactly, unless you have their type of mod, because that greatly enhances the skill tree, depending what mod you have. So for me, I was lucky enough to find a legendary class mod a long time ago. Um, and you can see it's only like a level 25, but it is so good. I mean, you get 18 skill points and a 20% cooldown rate, and I haven't found anything better. So, do your best to base it off your mod. For me, that's pretty easy. But what I do is I start on the left side. It's got a few nice things, and overall, it just helps Death Trap um, be basically the best he can. The right skill tree, I mean, it's good, but to me it's a little bit too complicated. You have to use anarchy stocks, and I don't really like the whole melee thing, although it can be very powerful. And the main reason I don't use it besides that is my class mod gives me +3 skill points on smaller, lighter, faster. But when you put a skill point here, it will put it to its max, which is 4. You can't go over 4. So I put 1 here and 1 there because there's only 1 out of 1 there. And it doesn't let me get to anywhere on the bottom, so you can't have um, a mod that you put that many on. I mean, I guess you could try and unequip the mod and then put the 4 and 1 and then put the mod back on and see what happens, but vice versa, it does nothing. You just can't do it. So, start out with the left tree. This is one of the best skills ever. I just love it, especially with my extra 3 points. I have it up to 3% per second. It's very useful when you're done battling and you're just always reloading, you're always regenerating your health. So that's the first one. You should put all 5 there because close enough is like, you get reduced damage almost for more bullets. It's not worth it. You want to put the 1 here. It's very useful. Sometimes Death Trap will seem to put a shield on the enemy, which doesn't actually happen, but it's really annoying. So, because of my mod, I'm able to put 1 point here, and I get 4, and then I can put the other 3 here, and the 1 in the middle. Now, if you had to pick, I would say mainly preference, but I would probably go with the right, because this one can already give you your shield back, so this extra shield stuff isn't necessary, but that fire ray is very nice to have. So you move down here, and then you have this one, which is pretty good maximum health for both you and Death Trap, or kill skill. And you always want to do this one. This is the most beneficial, best skill you can possibly have for Mechromancer. That's why you want to do the left tree, because it keeps Death Trap alive as long as he got his health and shield up. You get 5 seconds for every kill, as well as melee damage stock, which is really nice. I go with these 4 because that regenerates your shield capacity when you get a skill, and movement speed is always a very nice thing to have. Gunzerker has some pretty nice movement speed bonuses, and Zero actually has, I think, some of the highest. Anyway, this one, explosive damage, I've used it, I mean, I've seen Death Trap use it so much, and it just kills, like, everything, it seems. And as it gets later in the game, it doesn't kill him, but it does enormous damage. It's totally worth it. And then this one, it's pretty overpowered. I mean, you get damage reduction, which isn't a lot, 4%, but it helps. Especially with more melee damage to Death Trap, because that's one of his main things. Continue down the line, you want to put all 5 here. Thankfully, I have close to 50% cooldown just with this skill. And then the final one, you get a copy of your shield to Death Trap. So, like, a raid damage shield would work really well. But generally, any shield is totally worth it to give to Death Trap. So, I discussed why the right tree doesn't really work. For me, at least, I sort of want to go try and take off the mod and then put the points on. However, I don't have Sanctuary right now. That's just where I'm at in the storyline. So you go to the middle, and personally, I love elemental attacks. They deal a ridiculous amount of damage if done correctly. So adding that chance is very useful. I actually have 8 out of 5. But more important than having that elemental chance increase is this, because shock will completely drain your shield in like one SMG bullet. It's just that powerful. So that shock damage resistance is very nice, and shield capacity is always welcome.